everyone, welcome back to Valorem Visions. I'm Andrew Brower, and today we're diving into a topic that's becoming critical in organizations to accelerate AI adoption. If you've noticed, we've kind of had a trend here of really talking about AI and the adoption of these multiple Microsoft tools that are all kind of needed to add the robustness, security, protection, governance around these topics. So we're not just talking about traditional cloud security anymore. We're talking about securing models, data, runtime environments as AI becomes embedded into how businesses operate. So to help us break this down today, I'm joined by Cosmos. Welcome, Cosmos, and thank you for being here.
Hi, Andrew. I appreciate it for inviting me on your podcast to be able to dive into this very important topic, security posture management, focusing on AI. Security has always been the bedrock of every environment, and as we move on, we will be able to dissect this topic and go into deeper conversation as to how companies will be able to secure their environments and do the security the newer way, especially right now that AI has been embedded in most of the architectures. We will have to be able to secure AI, not over permissively give it more access, be able to know where. Instead of doing a reactive security, we'll be able to proactively secure AI before anything from code to runtimes.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. We're excited to have you. So as it goes, we have all of our guests do a Valorem Visions board. We'll give you 1 minute to start using your best whiteboard skills to kind of introduce the topic visually. So why don't you go ahead and bring that up, share your screen.
Yeah. Before I get into that, I just wanted to introduce the topic. Secure AI is part of Defender for Cloud, and Defender for Cloud is a cloud security posture cloud CNAPP solution for Microsoft. It has the CSPM part, and it has the CSPM, it has the CWB part, the cloud workload protection. And with the CSPM part, that is where the AI part is embedded. So let me bring out my vision board, and then as I explain it. So to be able to explain Microsoft Defender for Cloud, it's DevSecOps, right? It's if you followed Microsoft security for some time, at first you have to be compromised before. That's reactive security before you come and remediate. That uses a lot of SOC operations. That loses time. It loses. I mean, from blast radius. If the blast radius is bigger, you have to introduce a lot of things in order to get this. But now, what the CNAPP solutions, especially the cloud security posture management solutions, have done is that it does very proactive security. It goes in, cross into all of these applications. So we have the infrastructure layer. Here we can say this is Microsoft Azure. This is the platform, the EAS platform. Say that this is IaaS, the infrastructure as a code platform, which can also be passed. Of course, if you're using Kubernetes and the likes, that will also pass. This is the Azure platform. This is where your applications, your apps are. This is your security layer. And in the Azure platform, you can have your IAM, that's the identity and access management solution, which is the IA Entra. You can have Entra here, Entra ID. You can have your application that is hosted in Azure, and say application, or it's even hosted in Google. I mean, in the cloud, you can say that's a cloud platform. So let's do this as a cloud platform. And then you have the security layer. The security layer protects the applications. So let me say this is MDCU, Microsoft Defender for Cloud. This is the CNAPP solution. So we do have CNAPP. CNAPP is cloud native application platform protection, and then within the CNAPP we have CSPM, and then we have CWP. This is cloud security posture management, and this is cloud workload protection. But today we are going to talk about the AI security posture management. This is where it is. It is part of the CSPM, and then cloud security posture management. What it does is that it searches and looks at misconfigurations in the cloud workloads, all your cloud environment, from your application, from your network layer, from your keyboards, your servers, your databases. It looks into across in there, and it gives you recommendations about the misconfigurations that are in these layers. And with the AI security posture management being added to it recently, this actually secures all AI solutions that are in your environment. Maybe there's a dev solution. I mean, a dev team that has deployed an AI agent or an AI solution that is in your environment that probably you don't know. The security team comes in here. They don't need to even look at the dev solution. This AI functionality will pick up that security posture management of the AI solution that is in the cloud, and then be able to give you recommendations as to what you have to do with that. So with that, I will go to the next question. So
Yeah, no, that's great.
yep.
Thank you. And it's really great because it really shows, this is covering the entire stack, not just a
Mhm.
single service inside of the cloud, right? So
Mhm.
let's go back at the foundation. Look, can you talk to us a little bit about what Defender for Cloud is as the foundation um, for the basis of all of this?
Yeah, Defender for Cloud. Yeah, yes, let's come here. MDCU. Defender for Cloud, as I said, is a CNAP solution that actually literally gives you the security posture management I mean the whole scope of your environment. So literally it does goes into it does crawl into the environment. It goes through your network layer, it goes through your application layer, it goes through your secrets. You can there's a
Mm-hmm.
keyboard layer that it does all of these, and it alerts you. It can have the attack parts of the resources that have been deployed, like your VMs that have been deployed or your ARC enabled servers that have been deployed. It goes in and it finds the misconfigurations in all of these. And especially, you have an application. I'll give an example. You have an application that the VM, your NSG rules don't have just in time access on there. It's open to the internet. If your
Sure.
application is open to the internet, Defender for Cloud Security Posture Management will you crawl into there and let you know that, hey, this application or this VM is open to the internet, is vulnerable to an attack, and you can easily get attacked there. You have a user that has like a global admin, he has all over permissive accesses, and it's sitting there. It's not used there for the past 3 months. Attackers can actually use mimickers to mimic such identity, and then use it to give themselves access into your environment. So what does it do? Cloud security posture management shows you that, hey, this is what it's doing, and then it gives you the steps in order to remediate it. It gives you step by step in order to remediate it. So now let's lower it down based on the basics of what cloud security posture management does. It gives you a secure score as to what your environment is. Your environment is
Sure.
28% secure. Why is my environment 28% secure? Okay, this is the recommendations that you need to do. This is what you have to do. You have to enable just-in-time access. You have to take out this user that has over-permissive identities. This is what you have to do in your containers. You have to there are vulnerabilities in your containers, and so that's what cloud security posture management does, and that is what the AI SPM, that's AI security posture management, also does for the AI of every
Sure.
AI application that has been. It's like if the cloud
Yep.
security posture management is doing for the whole scope, the AI does for the AI part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll
Mhm.
get into that
Okay.
in this next topic. But so it's really giving you visibility and protection across your entire environment. So it's not necessarily just a dashboard to surface
Hmm.
issues, but it's also giving you those steps for proactive remediation on those attack vectors, as you were
Yes.
kind of
Yeah.
explaining, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Let me try and share my screen for the our audience. Let me share my screen and just show them a little bit
Yeah,
of
that'd be great
what
if you could show.
cloud security posture management does. Defender for Cloud is it's a pretty cool.
Yep. There you go. You got
Yeah,
it.
that's Defender for Cloud for you. It's a very powerful tool, and as I said, it's a CSP CNAP tool. It has the CSPM part. If you look at workload protection, it will show you what workload protection that it does. If you can see this just in time access. Let me not get access ahead of myself. It gives you an overview of your security posture. This is what it does. How many subscriptions you have, access resources, attack path, security alerts. That's what it does. And as I said, when it does this, it gives you the recommendations. If you've not actually started your Azure subscription, cloud security posture management on your Azure subscription for Defender for Cloud, it's a free tool. If you have the E5, it's actually free in your environment that you can
Mm.
easily go in there and then look at your setup. You can set it up with Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Services. I mean, the major cloud providers, you can do that and can do
Sure.
GitHub
The major
and all of that in
hyperscalers
the
are all providing. Okay.
hyperscalers. Yeah. So this is what it does. It gives you the recommendations, as I mentioned. It gives you recommendations as to what you need to do, especially if you have we say we have a storage account that should prevent the key access. You can click on the recommendations and look at what it does. The action items. Say how to remediate, navigate to your storage account, just put that set configuration settings. It gives you step by step as to how you can literally remediate these vulnerability or this recommendation before any attack. So it's a pretty cool solution that I expect clients to be able to deploy, and then especially as far as it's the base model and even the paid one, it's worth
Sure.
taking.
So let's talk about, now that you've got this open, so we've got the foundation of what Defender for Cloud is.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's bring that AI into that conversation. Is AI now looking at these recommendations and taking action on them? What's the enablement of AI in
Yes,
here look like?
I like that question. I like that question because it's very important. So the AI part, I will say that this is the AI part. The AI part is that, so when you come to the cloud security, you look at the cloud security, but when you come to the management, you have to come to the settings, the environment settings. And when you come to the environment settings, of course, if you know how the Azure environment works, it works by subscription, right? Management groups,
Yep.
and then your subscriptions will be in your management groups. And then you have a resource group, and then down you deploy your resources into your resource groups. Literally, that's what it does. Your AI environment, it depends on the subscription and where. I mean, as I said, it start from code to runtime. So let's give it a use case. Your AI application is being developed in Azure DevOps or in GitHub. You can literally connect your GitHub environment or your Azure DevOps environment repository to Defender for Cloud. And when you do that for Defender for Cloud, it comes into under your subscription. So which subscription that you have, that DevOps or that your development environment actually connected, you need to just come in there to that subscription, and then you go to the Defender plans. These are the Defender plans, and it tells you literally what the Defender plans are. We have the foundational CSPM. If you look at the details of the foundational CSPM, this is what it does. It's free. The pricing is free. So literally, it can give you continuous assessment of your security configurations, security recommendations, that miss configurations and weaknesses, secure scores, summarizing your current situation. So literally, it takes you there that, hey, this is what it is, right? Then, if you want to do the paid version, that is just an option. And I think Microsoft has done well giving us this free version. But if you do want to do the Defender CSPM, that's the real deal. You can see what you have, limitless. So you can go to your IAC, you can set it in front of your dev environment, scans if any secrets have been hard coded in any secrets or passwords have been hard coded in your code. It will scan your code, it will scan the pipeline, it comes into the environment, the application lifecycle goes through everything, and then it gives you the recommendations step by step. When we come to that rules recommendation, if you look down here, you can see the AI security posture management. So
Yep.
this agent literally secures you through your AI lifecycle. So now let's say we have a dev team. This dev team is deploying an AI solution. And when they are deploying it in Microsoft AI Foundry, Let's give that as an example.
Sure.
All right. Now, Defender for Cloud goes into this. The moment the development is going on, it goes in there and say, hey, this is an AI. It identifies that this is an LLM, or this is a training model that is being developed. All right, it gives you the recommendation as to what you need to do. That okay, this is what this is doing. This is the data that is assessing. This is what it gives you a clear recommendations and your recommendations portal that you'll be able. That's if you turn it on. You turn it on and then you allow it. Then you go back to your recommendations. You see that the AI recommendations will all be there, and it gives you step by step as to how to remediate this so that your environment will be secured and not not get into the situation of when it is compromised and the blast radius is bigger. That's when you come
Yeah.
back and say, oh, I need to react to it. You actually do your security in the front end before it gets into the back end. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
So I wanted to double click into, so you can set it up into your actual build pipelines and scan code before it's actually deployed. Then is that what I
Yes,
saw? Yeah.
yes. That's what that's what it does. So if you look at the details as to what it does, it does the AI security posture management, the code to code mapping for containers. It does the code to code mapping for IAC. IAC is infrastructure as code. And if you're familiar with infrastructure as code,
Yep.
it's Terraform, your Terraform models, your
Bicep.
configuration models like your biceps, your chefs. Those are that's what it does. So it does that step by step, stage by stage till it gets
That's
into
great.
production. So
That's great. Awesome. So I know we've looked at other AI solutions inside of the Microsoft ecosystem. The other systems have a way to interact with the AI and ask questions of the environment and most risky attack vectors inside of the analysis. Is there a way to interact like a co-pilot for Defender for Cloud, something like
yeah,
that?
so let's say that it's let's generalize it, right? Copilot
Yep.
is a generative AI.
Yep.
And it runs on an LLM. The models as it runs on
Yes.
everything from the foundation, as I said, from the foundation, from code to runtime, is monitored by Defender for Cloud. Defender for Cloud Secure Posture Management AI, the AI part, the AI Secure Posture Management, which we are talking about today. So it does the infrastructure. It detects overexposed access controls or services inadvertently exposed in the internet. Attack path analysis, it shows you which LLM models or which part of the AI is actually vulnerable, and it shows you the attack path. Literally gives you the step by step how to remediate this, and then how to remediate such as I showed in my previous slide. Gives you step by step how to remediate it in the environment, and then be able to get ahead of attackers before AI goes rogue.
Sure.
So yes, when you ask about Copilot is part of generative AI. But there's right now, as we all know, there's plenty of AIs, right? There's plenty of AIs, and some are developed in world, some are by third party sources. And so yeah, that's what that would be my answer to the question.
Absolutely. So really, Defender for Cloud, just to kind of close out on this topic, right, is that security posture management is continually assessing your environment, misconfigurations, vulnerabilities, and you've got the threat protection
Mm-hmm.
portion of this. So how do I respond to active threats? And then actionable recommendations. How do I actually go and resolve these things? Which is critical, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
most of the time, not most of the time, but there are people that, hey, I see this issue. Where do I actually need to go fix that and make sure that it's fixed right? And then having it re-verified through, and then having that dashboard for that visibility, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is huge to constantly be able to have analysis on your environment,
Mm-hmm.
both pre-deployment, as we talked about with the pipelines, and
Yep.
post-deployment. So actually, when it actually gets on the infrastructure
Mm-hmm.
that was deployed. So you're actually testing the bits from development through deployment, those
Mm-hmm.
same bits in each environment, which is huge for detecting anomalous anomalies, sorry,
Yeah. That's
between
okay. That's okay.
each environment if there's a different configuration, say in the ecosystem versus just trusting that it's all the same.
And one thing that I want to say that's very cool with Microsoft Defender for Cloud that you can do is that your Arc enable service, right? So somebody's saying, "Oh, I'm developing my AI on-prem," right? You are developing your AI on-prem. Oh, Microsoft says no problem. All you have to do is to install Azure Arc
Mm,
on your server. That gets into the cloud. The moment it
yeah.
gets into the cloud, if you look down there, I'll show you something real quick, which is the cloud workloads part. Let me show you real quick. Give me a second. And then I think this is so cool for us to see. You come in here, and then apart from this, even the CSPM Arc enable service, you can do Defender for Servers. And this Defender for Servers, when you turn it on, it will literally pick up your Arc enable service where the AI is. So now you have
Uh,
Defender for Servers. That is the cloud workload protection. It's a cloud workload protection. So it's a workload protection. It's protecting your on-prem, the whole infrastructure in the on-prem. Then the CSPM comes in and crawls in there and finds any misconfiguration in your server as to if it's getting on the internet, if there's over permissive accesses, the network is there are no NSG rules, or the NSG rules are not working. The virtual network is not, I mean, the misconfigurations in your network, in your applications, it comes in there. Then what the AI does is that the AI picks up the AI agent that you're deploying on-prem and then shows you every misconfiguration and gives you the recommendations based on it, so that and gives you the remediation. Go to this point, that point, this point, that point, and then remediate this before any attack happens.
awesome. That's awesome. So
Yeah.
let's transition from a business perspective, right? So
Hmm.
um if I'm a security person in the org, like I get it, I want to implement it, but I'm going and talking to leaders inside of my organization. So from a business perspective, what would be the real benefits to really drive in on that, making the effort to either, if I'm E3, pay for it, or making the jump to an E5 license? Kind of talk about the benefit of maybe I might consider just jumping up to that E5 SKU to get all the security add-ons versus just kind of a la carte and maybe an E3 SKU.
Yeah, so I mean, as a security solutions consultant, I've worked with different clients. What I have seen is that the E5 actually helps best. If you are a business on an E3, I think that you are missing out on a lot of security stuff. We can't get into the Defender SDR part, but we can get into the E5 part in the Azure platform. If you have the Azure platform, you should be able to have a lot of unlock a ton of Microsoft security workloads, including Defender for Cloud. When you get Defender for Cloud started, you have the foundational CSPM that gives you the recommendation, everything it crawls into your system and then your subscriptions, and gives you an exactly what you need to see. Literally, you don't companies don't really pay attention to security unless there's a breach, right? That we have moved from that. That ship has already sailed, right?
Yep,
We don't do that anymore. Attackers are way smarter than, and now they are creating using AI
absolutely.
agents. Now
Yep.
an attacker just have to create an agent and then use it to crawl into your environment. That is why we need Defender for Cloud as the CSPM model, right? You need
No,
that
it's
CSPM model to get it.
It's an absolute great point, right? And we've
Hmm.
talked about it in previous episodes, is if you don't have your security posture kind of in place now, you're way behind the boat and need
Hmm.
to accelerate quickly because of the fact that AI as an attack vector never stops, right? And can
Absolutely.
scale as much as an attacker wants to pay to scale out agents to attack you. And so having these security postures, Defender for Cloud, and the other products inside of the suite when you move to E5 is a quick way to then put up these postures, get moving fast inside of the ecosystem. And then not only are you protecting from outside vectors, but also you're protecting your inside assets when they are going to be deployed, right? And so really risk reduction on both sides, having that centralized visibility. And one thing that I say is, like, once you're in the ecosystem of Microsoft, whether you're starting to move out your Copilot 365, deploy your own custom AI,
Hmm.
when you're inside of that, you get that 365 view of what is going on in your environment and how to secure it. And then having, which comes into that governance, right? So being able to secure your whole ecosystem. And then
Hmm.
as you indicated out in the Defender for Cloud, even if you are a mixed company with multiple hyperscalers, right? Maybe you're spread across
Global
AWS and
AWS
Microsoft.
and Microsoft.
These
Yeah. Hmm.
tools can connect inside of there and protect there.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
so
Even
that
into
really
GCP.
gives you that flexibility. If you're worried about being locked into a cloud, you can have this product, and where you're developing things inside of your Microsoft environment, you don't have to necessarily build both. So it gives you that ability to scale and really drive that adoption. And inside of your company, you don't have to stifle that AI momentum, right? Because you're not
Hmm.
there securely. This will help promote that culture of being an AI first frontier firm.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And one of the best things that the Defender for Cloud also does is that it just literally shows you, and I'll bring back my screen, which I think people are visually. So it tells you your total secure score, shows your secure score, it shows you the critical recommendation, your attack path analysis. It tells you that, and then you have workbooks. You have workbooks that you can literally deploy and to look at like kind of like dashboards. If you do vulnerability assessment and we look at our workbooks, it tells you the machines, which is, I mean, in this environment, we don't have much, but it tells you the overview, shows you the machines, the containers that are all vulnerable, SQL servers that are all vulnerable. It shows you, I mean, your security alerts. Like we have some security alerts here that we had the Boeing test VM and the misconfiguration that it detected. It says suspicious incoming RDP network. So they are trying to get into it, and it tells you literally. And with your modern DevSecOps, you can literally also do that with all your AI foundries that you are doing, all your AI development that you're doing. Because I believe that last year was AI boom. People, the bill of materials, people literally, I mean, companies, when I say people, I say companies literally deployed AI without putting security in place. And so some of these AIs are sitting on in these environments that it will take months and months to be able to see it, right? Now Microsoft being so good has developed this tool that we can see in our recommendations when we turn them on, and then it just literally leads you to where it is, gives you the recommendation, and you are able to remediate all of this. So I think it's pretty cool that
Yeah.
as if you're a company that you are looking at security posture management, I believe I recommend it. It's a very neat tool to be able to use.
Yeah. So wrapping up here. So Defender for Cloud helps you organize and manage and improve their
Mhm.
security posture. We've talked about that. That
Yeah.
AI security posture management now adds the extensibility into our AI workloads.
Hmm.
Um, and altogether they provide that foundation for scaling securely in Azure, right?
Yeah,
And
sure.
so
All your AI tools will be secure, very secure,
yeah, giving you peace of mind, right? And being
peace of
able
mind.
to not halt AI movement, but actually
Hmm.
accelerate it because you know you're safe inside of there.
Saves hours and hours of change management time and escalation calls and all of that. So it saves you a lot of time.
Absolutely. Cosmos, thank you a ton for coming on today, introducing this topic, kind of talking through the foundational and now this AI extension into Defender for Cloud. If you're thinking about how to secure your cloud and AI environments and would like to get in touch with Cosmos, our security team, make sure you head over to valoremreply.com, select the Connect tab, and that will enable you to kind of fill out what you're looking for, what you need, and get connected with an expert like Cosmos today. So appreciate all the time, and thank you for tuning into Valorem Visions.
Thank you, Andrew, for having me. I appreciate it. Hope
Yep.
to have you some other time. All right. Bye.